and welcome to a new episode on the Alexis on Arabia and Beyond channel. Today we're going to have a look at government and rule in the Arabian Gulf. It's going to be a whole new series about the Arab Gulf countries, about their societies, their politics, their state structure and their economies, so something to look forward to. Now let's talk about the recent history of government and rule in the Arab Gulf and as to whether there were any political changes in the last couple of decades. Not so much in the Arab Gulf states, as their nationality holders are mostly homogeneous. There are also a few sectarian disputes, and the rulers are also quite strong and established in their power. They're also backed up by traditional values. Then there are also the bad examples provided by larger Arab states like Egypt and Iraq. Emiratis who follow these developments then decide to avoid a similar turmoil in their country and prefer their current system. Oil revenues and a successful economy also allow the governments to provide for their people, which in turn creates strong ties between the two. Times are changing, and providing subsidies and support to the nationals is becoming increasingly difficult for Arab Gulf governments. So there are initiatives in place to encourage seeking employment in the private sector, especially in Oman. This, however, is in stark contrast to many nationals' hopes for government jobs. And to back up these governments and their ability to provide for the people, they also enjoy close economic ties to the West. But it's not all static, as there are important developments taking place, such as the establishment of new consultative councils. This is something that we'll look at in future episodes, and then also the establishing of closer ties with other Asian states. Let us now have a look at how succession works between rulers in the Arab Gulf. In the past, some of the problems were that there were strong rivalries between the various contenders for power, and that they were aging rulers, so not always up to date or a bit detached from from the needs of their people or all the generations among their people. And some of the problems were also that they used to seize power by force, not always in agreement with some of the subjects. Today we're seeing succession in a much more orderly manner between, for example, father and son, or in the example of Kuwait, how it's been for a long time between two ruling families taking turns. And yes, I did say that there are a few sectarian disputes in this area, but unfortunately there are a few exceptions, a few hotspots where these problems do exist. One of these hotspots is the exception of Bahrain, where there is a Sunni-Shia struggle, something that we'll also discuss in future episodes, and the Iranian influence on the island. And then of course we also have to consider that there are divisions within the Shia as to how much they want to be influenced by Iran. Another country where there are sectarian tensions in the Gulf is Saudi Arabia. Shia Muslims experience discrimination there, but this backfires at the cost of the country. Shias are attacked by certain Sunni groups, which causes concern that this may lead to secession of Shia areas and the loss of oil fields. So the state aims to protect Shias against these attacks. Official organs of the state also condemn these attacks when they occur and hunt the attackers. Many among the Sunni population also condemn these attacks and express favor for coexistence. So what is our summary of monarchical rule in the Arab Gulf? Well, it's proved to be a very effective form of rule, especially at overcoming the various differences, internal differences between the various rulers. We'll look at this later on when we explore the formation of the United Arab Emirates. And through this form of government, the rulers also maintain strong ties with their subjects through provision of welfare, which in turn also led to stability in these countries. Join us in our next episode when we look at border disputes in the Arab Gulf, especially the case of Kuwait. See you then.